Hey adventurers, and welcome back to BC Adventures. Today we dove one of my favorite dive sites in Discovery Passage, Steep Island. We went out, it was a very foggy morning, so we could almost not even see the island. Typically you can see Steep Island from the boat as you're coming across from Campbell River, but it was so foggy this morning we couldn't see anything out in the water. And as we started to approach it, then you could start to see the island. You could see the sign says Steep Island as you're coming around. Now you can start to see beacons, kelp forest, and the water was super calm and very still when we entered into the water. Earl dropped us off in this kelp forest as the boat approached. And we dove down from there and then went south along the outside of Steep Island's wall. And all the way down were these purple tube worms. And they were everywhere. And Earl says it's one of the few places in BC that you'll see this many of these purple tube worms or feather duster worms that inhabit the whole area. It's quite incredible to see.
Yeah, giant purple tube worms or feather dusters. It's a very unique site. The purple tube worms run from around 40 feet down to about 90 feet and go for about 50-60 yards in there. It's this gigantic wall of purple tube worms. Now there's only a couple places on the coast that I know where that many purple tube worms exist in one area, and it's here on Steep Island, and the other one is up out of Port McNeill on the other side on the mainland. I believe is Booker Lagoon. Yeah, at the bottom of the purple tube worms there is a really nice undercut. It's around 90 feet that's full of sponges and strawberry anemones, and sometimes you find big lingcod in there, rockfish, all in there. And the interesting part about the purple tube worms is that as you're going down on the purple tube worms, because they absorb so much light, it's so dark as you're going down, and they're hard to take pictures of in photography because of how they absorb the light. Typically when you're going down deeper, it's getting darker, and you probably noticed that when you got down to 90 feet, right, and you're at the undercut, it actually brightened up a bit once you got past the purple tube. Steep Island is that as you get past the purple tube worms, looking at the sponges, they sort of go like it's a row of yellow and then a row of orange and then a row of greenish, or as you're going along. It's like it's color coded. So that's, unique in itself. The interesting things about Campbell River and diving in Campbell River, all of our dive sites are unique. They all have something slightly different ecosystems. They might only be a couple hundred yards apart from the different dive sites. You don't find the purple tube worms anywhere else.
Campbell River is pretty cool, like the amount of colors that come here. Like diving in Victoria, I love diving in Victoria, but when I come up to Campbell River, you get the visibility and you get so much different variety of colors and all blended in. And you're absolutely right, when we go to every different dive site, it's like going to its own unique little world. And it's so bright. I love diving here, coming out here. Earl, you're always got so much interesting information to relay to the divers that come on your charters. Thank you very much for sharing that with us.
It's always good to have you up here, Ryan. We're always glad to see you.
Well.
It was so cool to see Steep Island underwater like that. Those purple tube worms were insane. I can't believe how many of them there were. They went all the way down the wall, and then as we moved along, it got into all those sulfur sponges and strawberry anemones. The colors there went from black to red to yellow to white. It was absolutely fantastic. I'm so glad that we got to share this journey with you, and thanks so much for checking us out. And as always, we'll see you next time on BC Adventures.